it's Katie Claymon. I am a Rotary Youth Exchange student kind of thing. I was accepted, and I'm going through Rotary in 2015-2016. Dun dun! So excited to be able to do this and be in this position, and I want you to be able to be in the same position as me. So listen to these tips and I will help you as much as I can. The first tip is seriously do not procrastinate. I know everyone's probably telling you that and it's like, whatever, shut up, mom. But you really do not need to procrastinate. If you're like me, which most of you probably are, you're in a sport, you're in clubs, you're in honors classes, that makes you a great applicant for Rotary. But that also makes you super duper busy. So if you want to be able to finish everything, because there's so much to finish, you really need to not procrastinate. Make sure that with that procrastination, don't there's like a checklist that you can check everything that you need off, such as like your passport and stuff, and make sure that when you check that off, that you've done every single thing that you need to do within that checklist. It's a really nice checklist. It comes with the application. It's really cool. It has everything you need. That's great. But sometimes you forget, like, oh, I need to sign this in blue pen. Every single thing needs to be signed with blue pen. Not black, not orange, not magenta, blue. Also, you need to have everything not handwritten besides the signatures. So type every single thing besides the signatures. And make sure that you have a TB shot, which is like for tuberculosis, not for weed, because I got that misunderstood highly and I thought I was taking a P-cup test and it was not, and I was really confused. It was a shot and I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, make sure you're also that you know everything that's going on, because that's really important, and it'll make you come off like so much more put together, and that's really good. So don't procrastinate and know what you're doing. Number 2 comes kind of as something that you would think to obviously do, but some people I guess aren't. Being as nice as possible and as helpful as possible, because those things are going to get you far, not just in Rotary but in everything. They're looking for people who are going to be a good representative for the United States, and if you aren't even being a good representative for like your own little district or whatever, why are they going to want to send you across to another country to be like what people think of as Americans? Help people get to and from the meetings and things like that, and, you know, just try to be as helpful and as good of a candidate as possible. Like, show that I could be a good person, I guess, or a good ambassador for the United States. Another big thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is that when you travel with Rotary, you are traveling really cheap. But because of that, you need to be patient and flexible. If you're not going to be patient or you're not going to be flexible, this is the wrong program for you. I was accepted in November, I think, at the end of November, early December, and I still don't know, I don't know where I'm going to be going, and I won't know, the country that I'm going to until, late January, early February, at best. It might not even be till March. So, and then the city I'm going to definitely won't be till at least March. It might be later. There's some stories, horror stories, of people not knowing until, literally, they know the country but not the city until June or July. So that's kind of crazy and hard to get ready for, but you need to be flexible and understand that that's a plausible possibility for you. Another really important thing, I think, is to look over your parents and kind of rein them in. Not that you shouldn't let them be who they are, whatever, but my dad was asking stupid questions that, I would have thought he would have known, but I guess I didn't really explain everything to him. So, just make sure they're both briefed on what's going on. Another thing is to make sure you, look over their letters and make sure it's, good, ahead of time, because I didn't even really read my dad's letter, because you have to write letters to your host family, and so I didn't read it until, the last minute, and half the stuff was, misspelled, and, you just don't want to come across, not, you didn't want to put enough time into it or effort, and make sure they're briefed on what is going on totally 100%. And when you're picking your countries, make sure you actually talk to them about what countries you have to put as your top 10, because they ask some, like, they do private interviews. I'll go over that later, but they do private interviews with you and your parents separately, and I had on my list that I could go to Turkey, and when my parents went in there, they were like, yeah, we don't want her, oh, my dad said, oh, we don't want her going to Turkey, or like this place or that place, and they didn't, like, we just had a big disconnect there. So that looks like a divided front, and you don't want that, because they want to make sure that your parents are okay with you traveling, and if you come across like you don't know that you're on the same page or anything like that, that does not look good. So make sure to be on the same page as your parents and kind of like rein them in and like discuss with them like, Turkey's an okay place, or okay, Turkey's not okay, take it off the list. Also, when you're making your list, if you don't feel comfortable with going someplace, don't say that yes when really you aren't comfortable going there, because what if you get that country? I'm kind of facing that right now because they haven't told us where we're going, and I'm starting to get like jittery about, ooh, where am I gonna go? Oh my god, where am I gonna spend a year of my life? And I'm starting to go over like the list I gave to them, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go there. And like, I don't want to be picky, and of course, like I said earlier, be flexible. And if you do get a country that maybe isn't in your top 10, I mean, that's what you signed up for, but you're more than likely going to get the country, one of the countries in your top 10, and if you put a country in your top 10 that you're not comfortable with going to, or you don't really want to go to, like, that's a problem. So just put, like, your top 10 being countries that you want to go to. And lastly, I'm going to just go over what my experiences have been thus far with Rotary. The people have been super awesome. They're super nice. I hope everyone, all the districts are like that, so that's really positive for Rotary. And you get to go once a month, or sometimes it's a little bit more than once a month. They have like a get-together thing with the inbounds and the outbounds. So you get to meet kids from all over the world and kids from all over your state that are also going to be traveling abroad next year. You are competing with those people for where you're going to go, so fight them! So Rotary is kind of different, actually really different than most programs, and that's good and bad. Good because there's not a million ugly, stupid rules, such as, like, for example, I've traveled with CISV all over the place. If you don't know CISV, look it up. It's great. It's an amazing program. Like, it's so awesome. Like, email me or something, or do whatever you do on YouTube to me about CISV. Anyways, that was a side tangent. They have a rule that you cannot drive people if you're over, unless you're over 21 that are also in CISV. So I couldn't, but in Rotary, they don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. They have rules that are more, like, realistic, but also not as well upheld.
Ds, or should I say the 5 Ds. There's drinking, driving, drugs, and dating, and those are the 4 things that Rotary has set up as, like, no-nos, and things that you're going to have to abide by. And I know that's going to be really hard for some of you guys, but there's a 5th D to kind of help us deal with the first 4 Ds, and that is don't get caught. So, if you know what I mean, just don't get caught. And be smart, okay? Don't make the Americans look dumb. And I will be filming more stuff, so I will be able to tell you while I'm there more about that. Okay, basically, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're shy, if you're outgoing, what you are, you just need to be open to trying new things, open to learning a new language, and actually want to have both of those things happen for you. Hey you, yes you, like, subscribe, favorite, like, do all those cool YouTube things that will make me feel great about myself, and follow me where I go, which I guess is subscribing, but because I'm going to be backpacking across Europe in 2016, and I'm going to be 2015-2016 being a Rotary Youth Exchange student, and I should be filming every 2 or 3 weeks, so that'll be super fun to follow me, and I'll also post more pictures about the application, process and all that cool stuff, and you're going to have to come and find me wherever I am in the world. So, follow me, it'll be worth your time. Where in the world is Katie Claymont? So, you just need to know your...
English?
Yeah, but you just need to get to know yourself and get to know everything. You just need to know every single thing in the whole world. That's just, yeah, just know everything.